Good evening, fellow creeps. Welcome to another episode here on Creepy with Coffee. I'm Kim, your storyteller. Tonight's story happened at an environment that some of us are quite familiar with, office. And most of the office has this thing called the lift or the elevator. Not exactly in the elevator, but something around it. Like usual, before we get into our story, please do help me like and also subscribe to the channel. It would help the channel a lot. Now, let's get into our story.
This is Creepy with Coffee.
I wanted to share something creepy that happened in my office recently. Maybe it won't sound scary to everyone. Some people need the right imagination or atmosphere to feel the chills. But for me, it was unsettling enough to stay in my mind until today. It all started after I got promoted. With the new position came longer working hours. Our office is in the newly developed area where most units are still empty. Out of the 10 blocks, 3-story buildings, ours is the only one that is actually alive with people. The rest are used mostly as storage. Boxes stacked everywhere, dusty signages, but no real activity. We moved in only 6 months ago. Different departments are divided by floors. Mine is on the ground floor. Top floor is like our mini Google office. I'm kinda jealous after reading this because their office has a chill space with sleeping pods, a gaming room, ping pong table, showers, and even a small surau. On normal work days, if you go up there during prayer time, you'll bump into co-workers coming out of the gym room, the shower, or just hanging around. You usually hear someone whistling in the bathroom or people cheering during their ping pong matches. But that day felt different. That day, it was around 7:20 p.m. when I went up to the surau. The lift doors opened and I immediately noticed something odd. The lights were off and the whole floor was completely silent. Strange. At that time, the place is usually still lively. Most people stay back until 9 p.m. to avoid traffic and enjoy the facilities. But I just assumed maybe everyone was clearing their annual leave. I'd be too busy to keep track. Now, I have a weird OCD habit. I hate touching light switches because I'm scared of germs. So instead of turning on the lights, I just walk in the dark from the lift to the toilet. The toilet lights are always on anyway. As I reached the toilet entrance, I bumped into a coworker, my coworker. Let's call him Oliver. Right in that dark corridor between the male and female toilets. I literally jumped. He got shocked too because I got shocked. We laughed it off and went our separate ways. Everything seemed normal after that. I prayed, turned off all the unnecessary lights later on with a tissue, which is my usual routine, packed my things and went home. The next day, the same thing. I went up, I bumped into Oliver again near the toilet, and again I got startled. But apart from Oliver, there was no one else on the floor. Still dark, still quiet. I didn't think too much about it. On the third day, it happened again. Me going up, me getting startled by Oliver, and him just smiling at me like always. This time, I joked, "Hey, Oliver, why don't you use the toilet on your level lah?" But Oliver didn't answer. He just smiled. I brushed it off and I went into the toilet. But that day, I smelled something unpleasant, like sweat after gym run. So I assumed Oliver had just finished on the treadmill. I'm sensitive to smell, so I noticed it instantly. Then something clicked in my mind. I realized I had never once heard a flush or a running water. Not on day 1, day 2, not even on day 3. Nothing. It reminded me of a story I once read on a forum about someone who thought he was talking to his sister, only to realize later it wasn't actually her. That moment, my heart started beating faster. I was alone. The entire floor was empty, and I just spoken to someone I thought was Oliver. Just as I was beginning to feel uneasy, someone knocked on the main toilet door. "Hey, I'm going home, okay? Don't forget to turn off all the lights. By the way, want me to wait for you?" It was Oliver. I answered from the toilet. It's okay. You go ahead. Drive safe. Happy weekend." And I heard footsteps leaving. Oliver left. I finished praying and decided to go down using the stairs instead of the lift. Only 3 floors. It's fine. I thought some exercise in it should be fine. But to reach the staircase, I had to walk past the lift. And for some reason, every hair on my body stood up. It felt like someone was standing right in front of the lift door. I told myself not to overthink. I took 3 steps down the stairs when the lift opened. My heart dropped. Who was using the lift? Because when I went up earlier, everything was dark and silent. And I know this at the back of my head. I always remember Oliver always uses the stairs. His department is on the 2nd floor. He's fit, so he would never take the lift. He will always take the staircase. For the past few days, I hadn't even heard the lift open once. I kept walking the stairs slowly. Couldn't even hurry. My heels would have killed me. I didn't dare remove them because I didn't want my feet touching the dirty steps. So as I go down, I whispered Ayatul Kursi all over again, all the way down. Come Monday. During Monday lunch, I coincidentally sat with Oliver. He casually asked if I finished my annual leave since we could only carry forward 10 days. I told him, no, and also I didn't know where to go even if I have my leave. He said, "Oh, you should try Lombok next time." I just came back from there last week. I froze. Last week? What does he mean by last week? Has it meant that he wasn't even at the office? Then who did I bump into for 3 days straight? The one who smiled at me, who stood near the toilet, the smell I noticed, and the one who pressed on the lift, the one that opened behind me that night. Couldn't imagine if I actually asked the Oliver to stay behind and accompany me. I don't know what would happen. And after that conversation, I never prayed Maghrib upstairs again. I would now take wudu early and pray at my desk. I never told my coworkers about it either. And honestly, I don't plan to. Alright, that is the story for tonight. What do you think about this story? Is it a very typical doppelganger story that we have always heard about? One thing that I noticed was quite unusual about supernatural or ghost stories like this is Oliver actually got shocked when he bumped into this particular person. We have never really heard about doppelganger or ghosts getting spooked, right? So, who do you think it may be? Is it something that is sinister, that is actually wanting to harm our storyteller? Or is it something that just exists in that space, somehow bumped into by this person? Leave it down below in the comments. Once again, I always love all the comments that you guys put in, no matter what you wrote down below. You could just simply tell me about how you love the stories, telling me about your own experience, even just telling me how your day been today. It's lovely. So I look forward to reading more comments down below. Until the next episode, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. For now, good night.